Yes. Yes. Good, super. So we can start. Is it okay? Great. So I would like to welcome all of our colleagues who are joining us. I can see that there is a lot of our colleagues who normally joined us in these meetings, and the new people. I can see more people they are joining. This is great. Actually, I would like to welcome you after the summer holiday, because I think this is the first workshop after the long summer holiday, and we have Enrica today from Cooperativa Contravento, right? So actually, Enrica is EU project manager, and she has a lot of experience at the level of the EU implementation of different projects, and maybe she will share with us some of this experience today. But I assume that the core of the talk today is about inclusivity and diversity. So I would like to leave the floor to Enrica to introduce herself with a better Italian language, and after that, after you finish your full presentation, we will open the discussion for everyone to ask questions. I think I will share my screen from my end. Um, just 1 second, sorry. Yes. Great. So the screen, the place for you. Please, Enrica.
Thank you. And I want first, okay, my name is Enrica, and as Tamer said, I'm a European Union project manager for Cooperativa Contravento, based in, which is a social enterprise based in Catania. First, I want to thank a lot Consorzio Solco and all the Inspiring the Minds team to have invited us and have thought of us to lead and to be and to present our work and what we do in this workshop. Today we will explore the topic of social inclusion and empowerment of people with intellectual disabilities. As Tamer mentioned, I am a European project manager, so you would say, what are you doing here? But I am the matter of social inclusion is at our heart as a Cooperativa, and at the heart of the projects we run. From maybe someone has the okay. So the topic of social inclusion is inside every project, from the local one to the national one to the European one. And it is a matter I am deeply passionate about. And that's at the core what we do daily at Cooperativa Contravento. Today, we will, following the presentation, Tamer will share with you. I would like to take you on this journey, the journey that started with the Cooperativa in 2015. And I would like to show you what we have learned, the challenges we have faced, but most importantly, the successes we have achieved in this field. And I hope that by the end of this session, I will leave you with a deeper understanding of how we can contribute to a more inclusive society. Tamer, you can go on. Okay, let me start presenting Contravento. Contravento is a social enterprise based in Catania, in Sicily, and it was founded in 2015 by a team of professionals, and we are now a team of young professionals in different fields, from social, educational, and psychological and psychological field who share a common goal to improve the quality of life for individuals with intellectual disabilities. Indeed, we are really targeted because we mainly work with intellectual disabilities, Down syndrome, and autism spectrum disorder. Tamer, if you can. Okay, and we believe in moving away from the traditional welfare models that often focus on the dependency of people with disabilities, and we foster independence, autonomy, and empowerment. So all our programs, all our projects, from the very beginning age, from the very earlier age of the children until the very adult age of the users, are foreseen, let's say, their autonomy and their independence. You can, okay, this is what we actually do. So these are projects that cover really all the ages and that foster autonomy and inclusion. We believe actually that inclusion is more than being present. It is about being actively engaged in society and valued. We have a lot of projects based on education. And inclusion in education is really connected with inclusion in the workplace, which will be the topic of the following slides. And yes, no, okay, you can move on. Okay, so this relationship gives the opportunity to people with intellectual disabilities, with disabilities in general, to improve their quality of life, but most importantly, to gain a sense of belonging, which actually means inclusion, being included. I give you a glance and I give you thoughts, and then at the end of the session of the workshop, we can reflect on this. Let's reflect for a moment on some of the most common barriers of inclusion, such as stigmatization, lack of understanding, and mostly inadequate resources. Indeed, too often, people with intellectual disabilities can be seen having limitations rather than their abilities. We work daily to change this narrative and to demonstrate with the right support, step by step, they can achieve really important independent goals, and they can live independently. Indeed, a core part of our work is provide education for independence. Through our project, we offer autonomy education courses for people with intellectual disabilities, Down syndrome, and autism spectrum disorder. And we also design on them, target on them educational activities that help and foster their abilities. And one of the main services we are really proud of, is the in Italian is Servizio Inserimento Lavorativo. In English is Work Placement Service, which is becoming our flagship and one of the sector we are more proud of. You can move on. Next slide, please. So this program, this project we have within the Cooperativa is designed to bridge the gap between education and employment for people with intellectual disabilities. It was born out of our experience working with young adults that have already completed their schooling path, let's say, but were struggling to find meaningful employment. The objective of the Servizio Inserimento Lavorativo, I would call it SIL, is to create a network that includes local companies, job centers, families, and individuals with intellectual disabilities themselves. This network ensures that the transition from, let's say, school or from the centers they follow is as smooth as possible. And it also aims to protect both the individual and also the company who employ the individual with intellectual disability, ensuring that everyone, the whole circle, is supported. Next slide, please. Okay, this is what I said. Yes, next slide, please. Okay, this is the image we use to let you better understand the cooperation between the corporate world, job center, the ASP, which it is our terminology to indicate the healthcare system here in Sicily, and the family, and the user that use the work placement service. So all these systems with a lot of work actually, in order to benefit for the person who is willing to be employed, have to be enchained one another, and they need to dialogue one another. And this is why the role of the workplace mentor is really important. Next slide, please. Okay, I would like to say that as being a European project manager, I do not work directly with the guys and girls that I perfectly know, but I do not work directly. So I have to say that the work that has been done throughout this year has to thank Dr. Enrica Mavica, who cannot be present today because of health issues, and Dr. Daniele Casella, who is the president of Cooperativa Contravento, who actually have worked a lot during these years in order to reach this goal, because now we can say that we have 8 people with intellectual disabilities and Down syndrome as well employed and in fixed with a fixed contract. So we are really proud of this achievement, and I really mean it, because in Sicily, maybe you know that in Italy finding a workplace is really hard. Imagine for people with disabilities. So for us, it's a really big achievement. So next slide, please. And next slide too. Okay, so the role of the workplace mentor. As a key element of the work placement service is the workplace mentor. This person in this moment at Cooperativa Contravento is Dr. Enrica Mavica. Plays a crucial role in supporting both the employee with intellectual disability and the employer and the staff of the company. Because the mentor acts as a mediator, ensuring that the individual with the person with intellectual disabilities is able to learn the tasks assigned to them and adapt the work environment. But on the other hand, mentors work with employers to ensure that they understand how to better to support the person with disabilities at the best they can, This might include providing instructions and sometimes providing also new tools to them, and try to create all together, a supporting work environment and ensure that the employer has the time they need to complete tasks. Indeed, simple adjustments like breaking down a complex task into smaller tasks can make a world of difference for someone with an intellectual disabilities. In this picture, we have a picture of one of our girl, whose name is Francesca, who now is actually working at McDonald's. So she now changed job. What the mentor does is to be a mentor at the beginning with the user, with Francesca, preparing her for the interview to the employer, and this happens for everyone. So she starts with the user who want to enter the job market, preparing with the interview, and will support the person with intellectual disability throughout the path. Obviously, by training the staff working with the people with intellectual disabilities, it becomes easier and easier while the time is passing. What does the mentor practically does? For example, the mentor helps breaking down or helps teaching the staff working with a person with intellectual disabilities, breaking down the instructions. For example, if the employer clean the room quickly, for someone with a disability, this may be not clear enough. So breaking the tasks down means specifying steps. So wipe the tables, sweep the floor, let's say, make the chairs, okay, be sure that the chairs are in the good place. This is much easier to follow. And the role of the mentor is to ensure that such modifications are made where necessary, allowing the worker to succeed. You can... Next slide. Okay, so the mentor works as a tutor, both for the employer and for the staff. And as I said before, time passing, the role of the tutor become less present. It becomes more a supervisor, because I really have to stress the fact that once you give the person with intellectual disability trust, but saying and they feel supported, they go perfectly on their own. And this comes from our experience for sure. Next slide. Okay. Another important, relevant, and sometimes also challenging component is fostering professional relationships between individuals with intellectual disabilities who are working, who started working within a company, and their colleagues. When the mentor first approach the staff of the company, she stresses the importance of maintaining a professional dynamic and a professional relationship, respecting, let's say, the person with intellectual disability as an adult first, and as an adult worker second, because we do not have to forget that people with intellectual disabilities have to be treated in an adult way as they are. So we work the mentor better work to ensure that the colleagues understand how to treat their new team members with the respect and professionalism they deserve. So this involves clear communication, respect for personal boundaries, the understanding the fact that everyone deserves the time and space to learn at their own pace. Here we have some example. So use simple language and understandable. Segment the task. This was what I said before. Go and ask them the direct question. And also, this is the last point is what we teach to them, to our girls and boys, is know how to ask for help, which also means being autonomous. Now I have some questions to be more interactive, but if you prefer, I can move on and then leave the questions at the end. I don't know, what do you prefer?
Yeah. Anyone would like to suggest something here? Would you like to go on and then leave the question later?
Yes, it's fine. It's really you can move, you can go.
Yep.
Next slide. Okay. So other points for the staff is to give to the person with intellectual disability the same instruction for the same task. So from the very beginning of the trainship, we sometimes start with trainship. Try to give from the very beginning until it becomes the person becomes more and more familiar with the task, the same task and the same instructions and the same methodology to complete the task. The tutor, which is the main teacher at the very beginning of the path, should explain the task in a simple, clear language, and should give to the person with intellectual disability the practice example to match the theory and the practice. And when necessary, it is possible to provide all information with the support of a list for or some similar tools at the very beginning of the start of the employer. You can. Okay, this is what I said. To each his own time, respect tasks and time. You can. Okay. So I will better, yes, I consume all my thoughts at the very beginning. I'm sorry for that. So this is a really important topic, which is friends but not too close. So to maintain professional relationship between colleagues. This means that the relationship between the trainee and the tutor, the mentor, but also the relationship between the trainee, the worker, and the other must be professional. So maintaining boundaries and using the correct language and specific tools. From our experience that we are now writing in the presentation, if it happens that a trainee, a worker, immediately asks for a phone number, it is better to stick to the professional relationship between them. So at the same time, the tutor should not use informal or personal codes to, sentences, approach to establish a professional relationship. You can move on. The tutor, as written in this slide, has to deal also with critical situation or errors that might occur, especially at the very beginning. And the tutor should be able to support the trainee with specific evaluation moment and explain how to carry out a task and then immediately correct the mistake. And this can be all. It is only positive, a positive approach, because if the person who has done something in a wrong way, he's helped in understanding how he or she can correct the task done wrongly. The second way, he can move forward doing it in the right way. You can okay. As I mentioned before, it is really important to recognize that, especially for the other employers within a company, to recognize that the person with intellectual disability is now a member of your staff, is an adult. So he's a worker. So you have, I don't want to use the word must, but you have to treat him or her and avoiding infantilizing behavior. For instance, taking his hand or using the language which is not appropriate for his or her age. It is important, if you have to say something to them, it is important to find the good approach. I know it's not that easy. Indeed, it is a daily work, really. But you have to find the good way to say things to them. Sometimes we are what others want us to be. So if the new worker perceives from the attitudes and demands of colleagues the recognition his or her greatness, then most easily, day after day, they will acquire the skills and attitude appropriate to the role. Do not forget that in a workplace, everyone has a role. So treating them in a let's say, not in an adult way, in an infantilizing way, can provoke the fact that they do not suit their role, which they are paid for, actually. I can say that this is really challenging, especially at the beginning, and this is why in this time the role of the mentor and the role of the tutor and the role of the employer, the role of the family as well, and the role on and with the person with intellectual disabilities is fundamental. This is why it is a complex chain, but actually it is a chain, at least at the very beginning of the path. You can move to the next slide. Okay, so we finished the presentation. These are some pictures of our girls working. Now, almost of them, three of them are now in fixed term. I would like to say that the work that we are daily doing at Contravento is a journey. It is not a destination. We have been, we came back as a personal experience. We came back from a mobility staff in Tenerife, so in Spain. So in the government, yes, it belongs to to Spain. So they follow the Spanish rules, and we had the possibility, the opportunity to see what happened in other countries in terms of social inclusion and work integration. And we found, maybe this can be a question for you as well. We found out that a lot of workplace offers, a lot of job offers come from big companies instead of the smaller one. This can be tricky, let's say. This can be positive in a way, but also negative and challenging in another. Imagine a person with a Down syndrome who actually has the capabilities, has some abilities, but not to be inserted because of some behaviors in a big company. We have one of them working in Primark, okay, or Leroy Merlin, or Carrefour, okay, these such big companies. So if a smaller company, if a smaller employer is not open to welcome a person with intellectual disabilities or with Down syndrome because he cannot deal, let's say, with because the rule, now you should know that there are rules that after a number of people, a company has to have within the company at least, it depends, at least one person with intellectual with disabilities on I don't know, 50 or 15. It depends on the country. In Spain was 1 out of 50, which is feasible, at least. So this is also a matter of fact that we are now experiencing the challenge to support a person with intellectual disabilities in entering the job market, the work market in a for this, not for the bigger companies, but for the smaller one. And this means that a good percentage of people that could be able to go and work are left apart, are left over the job market. So now this is why what we have done in Contravento is a journey, is not a destination. Now we have achieved a big goal, and now we are working towards a bigger goal for the social inclusion and work placement of people with intellectual disabilities. So I have completed my presentation, but I'm open to questions. I wrote some questions to just not to be didactic or to only one side, only my side, but to be more interactive as possible. And maybe Tamer has pasted the questions in the chat.
Yes, actually, I did. I added the two questions to the chat. Maybe I can read them. The first one is what the barriers would you see in a work environment that may prevent inclusion? And the second, have you witnessed any practical successful strategy that have helped integrate individuals with disabilities into the workforce? If you don't have, or if you haven't witnessed any of these best practice, try to think about them. Do you have any to suggest? So this is the two questions that came from Enrica side to us, and then of course the rest of questions should we have from our side to Enrica as well. So the discussion now is open, and if anyone has a comments or answer for these questions or so. I have few things like maybe like reflection on these two questions. Uh, for the first question, if there is any barrier in the working environment, if I reflect here on Norway, on the Norwegian system, I don't think. I think the government and the different institutes, they try to help to include people. I don't think there is a real barrier there. We did within the Inspiring the Mind a survey some time ago, and I think Norway ranked very well, very high in these things. But if we speak about in global level, because I came from under representative group or from developing country, I think if I reflect on Egypt, for example, because I can see two friends here are from Egypt as well, I think yes, there is a lot of barrier, and the most important barrier, even here in Norway, is a culture barrier. It's a barrier in mind of the people. So maybe there is rule, there is infrastructure to help these people with need of inclusion, but still people in their mind they don't want to help, or maybe they thinking that they are not capable to do things, to do work. So I don't know if most probably in Sicily as well, most probably they think as well the same, like this people who need inclusion, they are not capable to do work.
I would not say. I would say that with their abilities, I have been taught that everyone with their abilities can do anything, respecting their abilities. So not everyone can work, but let me say that nor even of people with no disabilities, not everyone can actually work or work in a good way. What I can say, I would not say it's a matter of culture. It's also a matter of bureaucracy and of rules. I remember, I said, as I said, we came back from Tenerife, and the government of Spain, maybe in Norway, I presume it's the same, that to enter the public administration, you need to pass the in Italian is concorso. In English, I don't know. It's a big test in order to enter the public administration. Okay. In Italy, we in order to enter the public administration, we have this big public test. Okay. And there are some spots and some spaces, some places for people, specifically for people with disabilities. People with disabilities, which mean you can have an intellectual disability, Down syndrome. You cannot have an arm. You can be cardiopathic. Okay, these are disabilities in general. We have met a boy in Spain that was studying to prepare to this big test, because in Spain, within the category disabilities, there is the Down syndrome disability, which means that the test is specifically written for them in order to let them have the test, have the chance to have at least have the test. And so being employed in a public administration, which is quite a huge goal for a person with Down syndrome. So he showed us his books with the simplified language, in simplified language. So yes, it's a matter of culture. I know that Norway is in terms of social inclusion is in a very good high ranking, but I suppose that Spain too, because this is the very first time I hear of something like that. So the
But
government
it's
should rules help actually.
yeah, but do you think the government also not help with the rules, but do you think they run programs or things like this that to change the mindset of the people?
This changed the set of the people for sure, because if you have in a public office, if you can see a person with Down syndrome, even if they are making photocopies, but the fact that they are in the office, okay,
Mhm.
being a part of the environment, this obviously changed the mind of the people. Otherwise, we remain with the stigma, let's say, that we cannot see people with intellectual disabilities, Down syndrome in the offices.
Yes,
For sure,
yes,
this
yes.
helps.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know if other has questions about this. Actually, I have also here few questions. You are said that you are working with all the ages, so you are not focusing on one age.
No, from the very early child until the adult.
Okay. And when you are working with this different age, do you think it's like you need different mechanism,
You need the
to deal with them? Like,
Yes. Yes.
okay,
We indeed in the presentation there is also the approaches we use. It depends on the disabilities for sure, but for the autism spectrum disorder, we apply the ABA approach, so the one based on the behavior. When working with, we have specialists in AAC, so augmentative and alternative augmentative communication. So it depends, and everything is really targeted and tailored on on them. And we have also groups. We have them separated into groups, depending on their age and on the level of functionality.
okay. I think Dominica, could you please ask your question or comment?
Yeah, I just want to ask because you mainly talked about how you work with the people with this. Can you hear me well? Because it's a bit noisy. Yeah, I'll try to speak louder if it helps. So you said
Okay.
that you work a lot with people with disabilities, but I was also wondering if you were also kind of working with the managers and like the bosses that are employed. Like how do you instruct them, or like what kind of workshops do you have for them? Because that's also equally important.
Yes, okay, the role of the mentor is not only to prepare, it's to prepare the employer, but also the employee and the employer as well, and the staff as well. Yes, for sure. It is as I said, it is a chain. So the one to be trained and mentored is also the employer, in order to approach and to deal with the person with disability.
Hmm. I have a question from Khulud. She asked, "Are you willing to extend your work outside Sicily?"
I would ask to my president.
Okay.
Um, mm, Good question. It's hard work.
Yeah.
But we are in the we are since we are experiencing success, I would say that the one who are implementing this specifically this service, that before it was not a service. Now, because of the sense of inclusion and the willingness of parents and also of people with intellectual disabilities to be within the workplace, within the work market, I would say that we can support. Maybe we can start
Hmm.
supporting other organizations, giving them tools and methodologies in order to start this path, this journey, because it really is a journey. After several years of work, you can have an interview, because it is not only okay, we have made your CV and now you go to the interview. No, it is not, because the person who is going to have the interview has to be prepared. fully. And so the work to be done is also to know and to let them know what can be the challenge, what can be their role. So everything, 360 degrees of preparation. But maybe we can try to help and support other organizations to do so,
Yeah.
for sure.
Actually, I have two questions related to this somehow. The first one about this international collaboration, and I think international collaboration here, it doesn't mean that you transfer, not transfer, do activity outside Italy or outside Sicily, but maybe this context like transfer the knowledge, transfer the skills to other organization, helping them to map and to see the way how to help them. I think an organization like you that already have a good success story, I think this is very good, and I think it will be a very good example to be transferred and to be scaled out in other countries. So
Yes.
I hope you can push your boss in order to think outside and try to make it outside and transfer it to other countries or so.
Yes. Yes.
Uh, The second question is related to the same point, more or less about the team. How many person in the team?
The team that is specifically for the work placement service, or the Cooperativa in
No,
general?
in general.
Okay, in general, we are 38, almost 40, but we
40
started,
person.
we were really, we were sick. Because I came after, they were 6, and now we are quite a number.
Okay. And you think this number is enough to do such type of activities? Because I think dealing with this special people who has this special type of disability, you need to have like very high capacity, more time to give to them and so on, right?
It dep- you mean I'm sorry, because in order
I
to
mean, yeah, I mean, you think that your number is enough to do the
in
activities?
general, to do the activities,
Yes.
it depends on the activities, because if you mean working with children and the ABA, the relationships is one-to-one. So one therapist, one boy or girl. If you mean, okay, but if you mean independent pathways for adolescents, okay, we have the project Live Together in the evening or in the afternoon. The relationship is two, now I don't remember exactly, out of 8, because of their level of functionalities. We have the little boys and girls called explorers, which are from 6 to 8, and the relationship is 1 to 4 or 1 to 5, because it depends on the level of functionality. So I would say yes, it's enough.
Okay. Okay. I have one last question in my
Then,
agenda, but I don't know.
this gives me the opportunity to say, if someone wants to volunteer or to trainee to
Yes.
Contravento, can come.
Yes. But I think this should be in Sicily, right? Or it can be international. Should be in Sicily.
No, we can. We have hosted actually international trainees.
Okay.
So we can.
So
We are open, and
online things also can work.
online. Online. You asked me online.
Yeah.
No, because the
No. No.
educators. No, because educators are hands-on with them. So, but
With the people. Yeah.
if someone wants to do their internship, more than welcome.
Yes, actually, this is good. This is good point before the last question from my side about the internship in the inspiring the mind. We also try to help to create this collaboration between academia and business, between academia and NGO. So if any of you who has like position for internship, please let us know. If any of you know that there is a student who would like to go to internship, also please let us know. We have in our website like a form you can fill. So this is for all the people who are sitting here, not only for you, Enrica. So I don't know, maybe anyone has any question before I ask my last question, or should I go for the last one? Okay. You said you already succeed to hire eight persons with disability. My question, because you said that there is a quota by the law that this companies that has like X number of employees, they have to hire one or two or three. Do you think this 8 person hired through this quota, or they hired because the employer saw that there is value behind them?
I
Because
would,
I think it's different.
yes, I know, but
Yes.
I hope
It's
that they hire them because they are valuable, because
okay.
because they do not they do not simply hire, huh? They choose between candidates. So they choose our guys and girls because they really are valuable employees. I am 100% sure. On the other hand, I could not I could not avoid saying that both things are have to be taken into consideration. So the need, the necessity of a big company to respect the rules, and on the other hand, the fact that they are valuable employees. I would also say that there are some big companies that do not, despite the rules, decide to do not pay, to do not hire and to pay amendments. So this is also an answer, a positive answer. I would take it as a positive answers for the employers.
Yep. I have a reflection on that, but maybe first, Dominica.
I just wanted to ask a more unrelated question to what you're talking about, because I just remembered that you're actually an EU project manager. And I wanted
Yes.
to ask what exactly that means. Do you like implement EU projects, or what exactly do you do? Like
Yes.
grants and that? Yeah.
Yes, I am EU project manager, and we implement projects under the Erasmus Plus Key 1 and Key 2, and we just won, and we are happy to say that we just won a Creative Europe. So a bigger project, and we will do books in accessible language written by people with intellectual disabilities. So we are really proud of it. Yeah.
I think
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think we are proud to have you here because, I think this is a very good experience. This is like, it's not only a lecture from an expert person like you, it's again, synergy between same program, actually, because Inspiring the Mind is an Erasmus Action 2 project. So there is a synergy there. Yeah, my reflection on that, because, I think it's important. Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's important to have a law, and that the big company or the company follows this law. Like, if you are more than 50 person work with you, you need to hire one person from people with special needs. But if we return back to the first question of mine, that it's mindset. So if the guy sees a value, the owner of the company sees the value of this people, without have this push from the government, from the law, I think this will be the big change.
Yes.
Because this is something in their mind. This is something that coming from inside the people, that I really believe that this guy can do something, and I will hire him, not because there is law, because I should hire him, no, because he will give a value for my company.
We will reach this point.
Yes,
It's
it
a
needs some
matter
time.
of time,
It
as
needs time.
everything,
Yes.
as everything is a matter of time, but we will reach this point for sure.
Yes, I completely agree with you. It's just matter of time. We need like more organization like you to push, try to give good examples, and with the time, people will accept them. Yes, I
Yes.
completely agree with you. Yes.
Yes.
Yep, great. I don't know if there is any more questions from our audience. Okay, if not, I would like to thank all of you about this. Oops. Now you're hearing me again?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, because I for some reason okay. So I would like to thank all of you for today very interactive session. I would like to thank Enrica for this good thoughts and deep thoughts, and I hope to be in contact. And I think our next session will be 5th of November, right, Dominica?
Yeah, maybe something earlier. We'll let you know, but 5th of November for sure.
Okay. So I would like to thank all of you. Wish all of you nice weekend, and see you at least in 5th of November, not if not before. Good.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.